You know that feeling when you walk into a room, maybe it's the party or a networking event, and you've got your opening line ready.
Oh, yeah.
You've rehearsed it. You know the grammar is perfect. You walk up and say, "Hello, how are you doing today?" And
Yeah.
just nothing.
Crickets.
Yeah, or you get a polite nod, but the energy just completely flatlines. You can feel it die in the air.
It's the worst. It's like you feel yourself becoming invisible in real time. You feel
Mhm.
like you're wearing a suit that's 2 sizes too big. You're technically correct, but socially, you're just not there.
Exactly. And then someone else walks in, high fives the host,
Mhm.
says something that sounds barely like English, like, "What's good?" or "Fancy seeing you here." And suddenly they're in. They're best friends with everyone.
They've cracked the code.
They've cracked the code. And I've always wondered, what is that secret sauce? Is it just confidence? Or is it actually encoded in the language itself?
It's definitely the language.
Hmm.
Or, more specifically, it's what I like to call the texture of the language.
Yeah.
And that's what we're digging into today. We're doing a deep dive into this source, English Conversation Premium. But we aren't just looking at, vocabulary lists or grammar rules. We're trying to figure out why some people sound like textbooks and other people sound like, well, like actual humans.
Right. The mission today isn't to teach grammar. I think most of you listening know what a verb is. We want to decode the social strategy behind the words. Why does one phrase make you sound cool and engaging, and another make you sound like, I don't know, a narc?
A narc, yes. It's all about register, it's about context, and it's about the psychology of connection. The source material breaks this down into these really useful functional areas, introductions, arguments, storytelling, that kind of
So
thing.
we can see it in action.
Yeah, and I want to look at the power dynamics in those interactions,
Mm.
how language is used not just to communicate information, but to establish relationships.
Okay, so let's start at the very beginning then. The first impression. This is where it all starts. The source material gives us this dialogue between two guys, Todd and Matt. They're at a party.
The classic scenario.
Right. Now, Todd doesn't just walk up and say, "Are you Matt?" He says, "Hi, you must be John's cousin, Matt, right?" That little phrase, "you must be."
That must be is doing so much heavy lifting in that one short sentence. It's a game changer.
It sounds a little bit presumptuous, though, doesn't it? I mean, walking up and telling someone who they are.
You'd think so, but it's actually the opposite. Think about the alternative. If I walk up to you and say, "Are you John?" I'm basically admitting I have no idea who you are. I'm just guessing.
Right. You're putting the burden on me to confirm or deny.
Exactly. It puts all the work on you to explain yourself. But if I say, "You must be John," I'm engaging in a little bit of what I'd call social Sherlock Holmes.
I like that.
I'm saying, I have observed the room, I recalled the description I was given, and I have deduced that you are the specific person I was looking forward to meeting. It's a subtle compliment.
So it's flattering. It implies they are memorable or distinctive before you've even shaken their hand. You've been thinking about them.
Precisely. It signals anticipation. It says, I was expecting you. And that makes people feel seen. It makes them feel important right from the get-go.
Okay, so Todd nails the deduction. Matt confirms it. He says correct. And then Todd drops a line that, "Look, I have to be honest. If someone said this to me, I might roll my eyes a little." He says, "I have heard about you. Football player and party animal extraordinaire."
It is a bit much, isn't it? It's very enthusiastic.
Party animal. Do people still say that? It feels very 1990s teen movie to me.
It is a bit retro, and you have to be careful with it. A party animal is someone who lives for the social scene. Loud, late nights, maybe a bit wild.
So it could be an insult.
It absolutely could be. Calling someone that can imply they're immature or messy or unreliable.
Yeah.
But Todd saves it with that second word, extraordinaire.
Which is clearly not English. That's what stands out.
No, it's French. Extraordinaire. And this is a really interesting little quirk of English. We almost always put adjectives before the noun. The red car, the happy dog.
The standard order.
But when we borrow extraordinaire from French, we keep the French syntax. We put it after the noun, the party animal extraordinaire.
It sounds like a title, like a knighthood or something. Sir Party Animal Extraordinaire.
And that's the entire point. It elevates the concept. It takes something that could be a mild insult, you drink too much beer, and turns it into this playful, grand title. It signals, I admire your energy and I'm joking with you. A very specific type of banter.
So it's the extraordinaire that signals we're joking, we're having fun, don't take this too seriously. It's a wink.
Exactly. If he just said, I heard you are a party animal,
Mm-hmm.
it might sound judgmental. The fancy French word softens the blow with a layer of humor and sophistication. ironically.
Okay, I'm with you. And Matt plays along. He says, correct. I just got in last night. Now, got in. Why not arrived? Arrived is a perfectly good, grammatically correct word.
Arrived is what trains do. Arrived is what a package does. It's formal and a little sterile.
It's impersonal.
Very. Got in is what tired humans do. There's a weariness to got in. It implies the struggle of the journer, the traffic, the flight delay, the baggage claim. It's the whole ordeal.
So when you say, I just got in, you're kind of inviting a little bit of sympathy, maybe?
You are. It opens the door for the other person to say, oh, wow, you must be tired, or long flight. It creates an opportunity for connection over a shared common struggle. Travel is tiring.
Arrived feels like you just teleported into the room. Got in feels like you survived the trip.
That's a perfect way to put it. And then inevitably, because we are talking about American English, we hit the big one, the identity question. The question that defines every cocktail party in the United States.
Oh no, what do you do? I hate this question. I really do. It feels so transactional. What is your economic function?
It is. It can be a real conversation killer if you're not prepared for it. But the source material points out a really subtle grammar distinction that changes how you answer it, and I think this is fascinating. It's the difference between using a and the a.
Okay, break that down for me.
If you say, I am a lawyer, or I am an accountant, you are categorizing yourself. You're saying, I'm one of many people who do this job. I fit into this general box.
It's a generic label.
Right. It's a humble, standard way to identify your role in the world.
But if I say I am the lawyer, that sounds weird. It sounds very arrogant.
Unless you are the only one in that context. But think about titles. If someone says, I am a vice president at the bank, it means there are probably 20 other VPs. It's just a job grade.
Right, it's a tier.
But if you say, I am the president of the company, that definite article, the, claims uniqueness. It claims territory. It says, there was only one of me.
It's a huge status marker then. So simple, but it says so much.
Like a massive status marker.
Yeah.
And there's another pivot the source mentions, which is related. Defining yourself by the activity versus the institution.
Oh, right. I work for Google versus I'm a programmer.
Exactly. And this is a strategic choice. If you say, I work for Google, you are borrowing the status of the company to make yourself look good. You're kind of hiding behind the brand.
You're leveraging their prestige.
You are. But if you say, I write code, or I drive a truck, or I teach history, you are owning the skill. You're defining yourself by what you can do. It's often considered more confident, more authentic to state the action rather than just the employer.
That's a really good tip for you listening. If you want to own your expertise, use the verb or the specific title. Don't just name drop the company you work for.
Now, what happens when the first impression isn't actually a first impression? The source has this other scenario with Nicole and Jen. They unexpectedly run into each other.
Ah, the surprise encounter. And Nicole says, fancy running into you here.
I love this phrase. I use it all the time because it's a field.
A shield. How so? What's it protecting you from?
Well, running into people unexpectedly can be genuinely awkward. Maybe you look a mess. Maybe you're with someone you don't want them to meet. Maybe you forgot their name for a split second.
That half second of panic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fancy running into you is what we call a phatic expression. It fills the air with immediate, pre-packaged positivity. It frames the accident of meeting as a fancy or pleasant surprise, even if you're actually thinking, oh no, I just wanted to buy milk in my pajamas.
It smooths over the glitch in the matrix. It gives you a moment to recover and remember their name.
Precisely. And then they follow up with, I haven't seen you for ages.
Total hyperbole. It could have been 3 months.
Of course. But ages validates the relationship. It says, our separation feels significant to me. I have noticed your absence. If you just said, I haven't seen you for a while, it's a bit flat. Ages adds emotional weight.
And then comes the promise, the lie we all tell each other. Let's catch up.
The great social lie, we must get coffee.
Which means I will never see you again.
Right. Sometimes. But there's a technical distinction here the source makes that I think is really useful between catch up and keep in touch.
Yeah, I feel like I use them interchangeably, but I probably shouldn't. They feel different.
They are very different. Think of it like computer software. Catching up is like downloading all the updates you missed because you were offline. You have to sync up all the data, the job changes, the relationships, the big life events.
That's a big data dump.
It is. It's a specific one-time event. Keeping in touch, on the other hand, is like staying connected to the network. It's the steady, low-level stream of data, the texts, the memes, the quick calls. It's maintenance.
So if you're keeping in touch properly, you never really need to catch up in a major way.
Theoretically, yes. Catching up implies a failure of keeping in touch. It implies a gap that needs to be bridged.
That hits a little too close to home. I have a lot of catching up to do.
Okay, let's move past the hello. We've met, we've reconnected, we've exchanged the pleasantries. Now we're actually hanging out. We're in what the source calls the social dance.
This is where we start judging things. We're expressing opinions, likes, dislikes. This is where relationships are really built or broken.
And the source material immediately highlights the word that defines a generation. Awesome, the quintessential American adjective. It's everywhere.
Is it too much, though? I feel like everything is awesome now. Here's your coffee. Awesome. I managed to tie my shoes today. Awesome. Has it lost all meaning?
It has definitely suffered from inflation. You're right. Originally, awesome meant it inspired awe. It was for a mountain range or a cathedral or a spiritual experience.
Something truly magnificent.
Right. And now it just means good or okay or I acknowledge that. But in conversation, it functions as a high-energy green light. It keeps the vibe positive and moving forward.
How so?
Well, if you say, that's good, it can feel like a period at the end of a sentence. The conversation might stop. But if you say, that's awesome, it's an exclamation point that invites more excitement and more sharing. It's encouraging.
It escalates the energy. But what if you aren't excited? What if you're just, tired? The source suggests the phrase up for, as in, are you up for it?
Are you up for a movie? I'm not really up for going out tonight. This is such a crucial phrase for energy management in social situations.
Energy management, I like that.
It's not about whether you like the thing in question. You might love movies, but being up for it, it's about whether you have the kinetic, emotional, and social energy to leave your house and participate right now.
It's a polite way to say, I am lazy right now, without sounding like a boring person.
Exactly. It makes your refusal about your current state, not your permanent personality. It's temporary. I'm not up for it tonight.
Now, here's the phrase I really want to dig into because I hear it constantly. The source brings up, to be honest with you.
Ah, the danger phrase.
Why is it dangerous? It sounds so, honest.
Think about what it implies logically. If I have to announce, to be honest with you, right now, what was I doing for the last 20 minutes of our conversation? Lying to you.
Right. Let me be honest for a change.
Exactly. But socially, it doesn't work that way. It functions as a buffer. It's a warning shot. It signals a shift in tone. We almost always use it right before we offer a negative opinion or a contradiction.
Like in the dialogue, Lauren is talking about decorating a room. She says, to be honest with you, I can't stand that color.
Right. She's about to criticize her roommate's taste. If she just said, I hate that color, it's abrupt, it's aggressive, it's a direct attack. But adding, to be honest with you, frames it as a reluctant confession.
It's like she's saying, I'm about to be vulnerable here by telling you my true, slightly negative opinion.
Precisely. I am trusting you with my real feelings. It creates a little moment of intimacy right before the criticism hits, which softens the blow. It's like saying, I'm going to take off the polite social mask for 1 second just between us.
That's a very sophisticated social move. And notice the phrase she uses for the dislike. Can't stand.
It's very physical, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not just I dislike it, it's I cannot physically remain standing in the presence of this thing. It implies a visceral, full-body intolerance.
It's much stronger than I don't like it. And the source also brings up other strong descriptors like gross or depressing. These aren't analytical terms, they are emotional reactions.
Right, and then we get to describing people. The source brings up the word dude. Now, this is a minefield.
It is. Dude is the great chameleon of American English slang.
Can you use it at work? With your boss?
This is where social strategy is everything. If you use dude with your boss or in a client meeting, you aren't just being friendly. You are making a statement. You are signaling that you don't respect the formal hierarchy. You're actively trying to flatten the power dynamic.
Which might be cool if you're at a tech startup where everyone wears hoodies and plays ping pong.
Maybe. But if you're at a law firm or a bank, it's a career death wish. It communicates, I don't understand the gravity of this situation. Or worse, I don't care about it.
But among friends, it's totally different.
Among friends, dude is a punctuation mark. It can mean, hello, stop that, wow, that's amazing, or I completely agree with you.
It's all about the intonation dude versus dude.
Exactly. The meaning is carried entirely by the music of the word, not the word itself. And speaking of roommates in informal settings, we have the archetypes. The party animal we met earlier, and its opposite, the ghost.
The ghost is the dream roommate, honestly.
The one who pays rent on time but is never actually seen or heard.
Yes, the perfect housemate. But in the source, they use these terms to navigate expectations before moving in together. I work 24/7, one says. I'm hardly ever home.
204/7 is another one of those interesting exaggerations, 24/7. It's corporate speak that bled into regular life. Nobody actually works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It would be impossible.
But it implies a commitment to the hustle culture. If you say, I work all the time, it sounds like a complaint. If you say, I'm working 24/7, it sounds like a flex, like you're important and in demand.
That's a great observation. It frames the busyness as a choice or a status symbol, not a burden. Okay, so we've charmed the roommate, we've navigated the party, but eventually the party ends. You have to go out into the real world. You have to deal with logistics. Section 3, the survival guide.
This is where the romance of language dies and the bureaucracy begins,
Yeah.
appointments and housing.
And the source material starts with the absolute nemesis of every English learner I have ever met, the holy trinity of confusion: in, on, and at.
Prepositions of time and place. They seem random, but there's a logic to them.
I feel like textbooks make this so complicated. They just give you these long lists to memorize. On for days, in for months.
Yeah.
Isn't there a better way to visualize this?
Yes. There's a concept called the funnel. I want everyone listening to imagine a funnel. Wide at the top, narrow at the bottom.
Okay, I'm picturing a kitchen funnel.
At the very top, the widest part of that funnel, you have the word in.
Mhm.
In is for big, general, vague concepts. Massive blocks of time or space that contain other things.
Like what?
You are in the 21st century. You are in 2024. You are in October. For place, you are in a country, like in Canada, or in a city, like in New York City.
So in is the big container. It's the buffet. Everything else fits inside.
Right, it's very general. If I say, let's meet in October, that's a 31-day window.
Yeah.
It's huge. Now move down the funnel, it gets narrower. Now we are on.
Okay, more specific.
On is for days and surfaces. More specific points in time, more specific locations. On Tuesday, on July 4th. For place, you're on a street, like on Broadway, or on the second floor.
Okay, so we've zoomed in. We aren't just in the month anymore. We're on the specific day. We aren't just in the city. We're on the street.
Exactly. And then we go to the very bottom of the funnel, the tiny sharp point that is AT.
The most precise.
The most precise at is for the exact coordinate in time or space. At 2:08 p.m., at noon, at 123 Main Street. It is the specific point.
That is actually brilliant. So it goes from general in to specific on to precise at.
Yep.
The funnel method.
Think of it like this. I was born in 1990 on a Tuesday at 5 p.m. You're moving down the funnel from largest to smallest unit of time. It makes sense.
That solves the time problem. But what about the actual language of making the appointment? The source talks about openings and cancellations.
This is the language of scarcity and respect. When you call a doctor, you don't ask, when can I come? That's too demanding. You ask, do you have any openings? You are acknowledging that their time is a solid wall, and you are politely looking for a small crack in it.
It's deferential, and if you're desperate, you ask about cancellations.
Right. Could you put me on the wait list for a cancellation? You're essentially betting on someone else's misfortune or their schedule changing. It shows you're asking for a special favor.
Then we move to the other big logistical nightmare, housing. We meet Ted and Shirley. And Shirley is described as the go-to agent.
Go-to. It's such a simple compound word, but it's so powerful. It means the reliable default. The person you don't even have to think about calling. Your brain just goes to them. They are the solution.
And Ted, the client, he's a simple guy. He says he doesn't need all the bells and whistles. Now pause. I use this phrase all the time. But do actual bells and whistles exist in modern apartments?
Not anymore, no. The phrase is a holdover. It comes from old fairground organs or steam locomotives. Things that made loud, exciting noises to attract attention, but didn't actually help the machine run better. They were for show.
So in an apartment, bells and whistles would be?
A smart fridge that orders milk for you, heated floors in the bathroom, a concierge who knows your dog's name, all the luxury add-ons. Ted is saying, I don't want to pay for the show. I just want the basic function.
He just wants a roof and 4 walls, and he asks about utilities.
The hidden costs. Water, heat, electric, gas. For anyone listening who might be moving to the U.S., the phrase, utilities included, is one of the most beautiful phrases in the English language.
It really, really is. And then Ted uses this phrase, heads up. I better give him a heads up.
This is a great common idiom. It's a sports metaphor. In things like football or hockey, the coach yells, heads up. to warn a player that the ball or puck is coming at them.
So you don't get hit in the face.
Exactly. So in conversation, a heads up is a friendly, informal warning or advance notice. A warning sounds serious, like, the police are coming. A heads up is helpful. Heads up, the boss is in a bad mood today.
It's about being a good teammate, looking out for the other person.
It is. And finally, in this logistics section, we have the decision loop. The source outlines 3 key phrases: make up your mind, change your mind, and never mind.
Make up your mind sounds a bit impatient.
It can be, means to decide, but it's often used when you feel someone is being too slow. Please, just make up your mind.
Change your mind is neutral.
Right, to alter a previous decision.
Yeah.
But never mind is the ultimate conversation killer.
It's so dismissive.
It is. It says, the effort required to explain this to you again is greater than the value of you understanding it. So let's just delete the last 10 seconds of conversation.
Ouch. What did you say? Never mind. It's passive-aggressive gold.
It can be. Or it can just be efficient if the topic truly doesn't matter anymore. But it's a powerful tool to shut things down. But let's look at section 4. We've found the apartment. Now we need things from people. We need to move the sofa. This is the delicate art of asking.
This is where cultures really clash, I think. In some languages and cultures, being direct is polite because it saves time. Give me the pen. In English, that's incredibly rude.
In English, directness is often interpreted as aggression or a command. We use what are called modal auxiliaries to pad the request. We wrap the request in layers of cotton wool to soften it.
And the source ranks them by politeness. Will you, could you, and would you mind?
Right. Will you open the door is a direct instruction. It's barely a question. It needs a please at the end just to survive socially.
It's on life support.
Exactly. Could you open the door?
Yeah.
It's much better. It asks about ability. Is it physically possible for you to do this? It gives the other person an out. They could say their hands are full.
And then the king of politeness. Would you mind opening the door?
This one is the most sophisticated, but it's also a logical trap, especially for learners.
I get this wrong all the time. I still have to stop and think about it.
It is a double negative trap. If I ask you, would you mind helping me? And you are happy to help, what do you say?
My instinct is to say yes, as in, yes, I will help you.
Wrong. If you say yes, you are saying, yes, I mind, which means, yes, this bothers me. Go away.
Right, I have to say no.
You have to say, no. Not the implied question about helping.
So you're negating the negative. No, I would not mind. That is so confusing.
It is, but it's a linguistic dance. We demonstrate how polite we are by successfully navigating this complex negative structure. It proves we are thinking carefully about the other person's comfort and potential inconvenience.
So in the source, Jim asks Ali for his class notes, and Ali agrees. Jim says, that's a load off my shoulders.
Or, a load off my mind. It's a great idiom. It treats stress and worry as a physical weight. You can feel it on your body. And relief is literally weightlessness.
And then, of course, Ali calls in the debt. He immediately says, do me a favor.
The favor economy. This is crucial in friendships and informal relationships. You don't sign contracts, you trade favors. Ali helped with notes, a small favor. Now he needs Jim to go on a blind date for him, a bigger favor.
Which Jim really doesn't want to do.
But he feels obligated.
Yeah.
Because Ali got him back on track with the notes.
Back on track. Another transportation metaphor. Like a train.
Yes. Life is a journey. You've derailed, you've crashed. I put you back on the rails so you could keep moving forward. Now you owe me.
It's a social debt. So Jim agrees, and they decide to grab a bite to eat.
Notice, not eat dinner, grab a bite. This phrasing implies speed and casualness. If you ask someone to eat dinner, it can sound formal, like a real date. If you say, let's grab a bite, it sounds like biological refueling. It's low pressure.
Unless you splurge, Ali suggests they might
Splurge. I love that word. It's almost onomatopoeia. It sounds like a splash of water. I splurged on this new watch. It means spending money freely, maybe more than you should, on a luxury for the sheer joy of it.
It's an indulgence. And Ali says, I'll get back to you ASCP.
As soon as possible. An acronym from military and business speak that has completely conquered the world. It signals urgency and efficiency.
Okay, let's get emotional. We've done the favors, we've navigated the logistics, now we're venting. Section 5, emotional regulation.
Or, more accurately, emotional deregulation. This is the scenario with Pat and Katie. Pat is crying on Katie's shoulder.
Figuratively, we assume.
Usually, yes.
Yeah.
It means using a friend as an emotional support beam to unload your problems onto them. And Pat is deep in the victim mindset here. She uses the classic phrase, "he's out to get me."
Talking about her boss, it sounds so dramatic.
Out to get me. It's pure paranoia. It implies the boss isn't just critical or difficult, he is actively hunting her. He has a malicious plan. He is out on the hunt, and she is the prey.
And he's also on my case.
Get off my case. You hear that in old movies. It means constant pestering supervision and criticism. Like a detective working a case who won't leave the main suspect alone for a second.
It sounds exhausting. And Pat says she is sick and tired of it all.
We almost never separate those two words when we want to show we're at our limit. You rarely hear, "I am sick of this," or "I am tired of this," with the same intensity as "I am sick and tired." It's a compound emotion. It's physical and mental exhaustion combined.
And she's ready to throw in the towel.
That's from boxing, right?
Yeah. When a fighter is getting pulverized and can't continue, their coach in the corner throws a towel into the ring to signal to the referee to stop the fight. It's a sign of surrender.
So Pat isn't just quitting her job. She's surrendering. She's saying, "I can't take the beating anymore." It's a very dramatic way to talk about an office job.
But drama is what venting is for. And look at how she structures the rant. This is key. She doesn't just babble. She builds a legal case for why her life is terrible.
She uses argument markers to organize her complaints.
She starts with, "in the first place."
That's Exhibit A. Then she adds plus for Exhibit B and for the grand finale.
As if that weren't enough. That's the phrase you use for the final straw. The thing that breaks you. The final unbelievable injustice.
And then she wraps it all up with the justification. After all, I deserve a break. After all, I work so hard. It's the closing argument to the jury, who in this case is her friend Katie.
And Katie, playing the role of the good friend, tells her to cheer up.
Which honestly is some of the worst advice you can give someone. Has telling an upset person to cheer up ever actually worked in the history of humanity?
Never. Not once. It usually just makes me angrier. Oh, is that all I have to do?
It's completely invalidating. But the sentiment is, I want you to become happier. And then she offers the real medicine, the real support. You can count on me.
Count on, like math.
Exactly. You can calculate me into your equation. I am a constant, reliable variable. You can depend on me.
And she backs it up with, "I've been there for you from the get-go."
The get-go.
Yeah.
A very American, slightly slangy way to say from the very beginning. It emphasizes loyalty through time. I saw the start of this race, and I'll be here with you at the finish.
This is a deep dive into friendship itself. Okay, let's move from emotional fights to workplace fights. Section 6, the future and the argument.
We have two things happening in this part of the source. First, how we talk about the future, and second, how we argue in a professional setting.
Let's look at the future first, because English is notoriously weird about the future. We don't just have one future tense. We have degrees of certainty.
We have a sliding scale of commitment.
Yeah.
The grammar we choose reveals how sure we are about what's going to happen.
Walk us through that scale. Start with the most certain, the thing that is definitely happening.
Paradoxically, the most certain future is expressed using the present tense.
That feels wrong.
I know, but think about it. The flight leaves at 4 p.m. The meeting is at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I am using the present tense because the future event is so locked in, so scheduled, it feels like a current, unchangeable fact. It's 99% certain.
Okay, that makes sense. It's on the official schedule. Now, step down one level in certainty.
That would be going to, or more commonly, gonna. I'm going to buy a new car next month. This is a plan. I have the intention. It's not on a public schedule yet, but in my head it's happening. Let's say 95% certain.
Okay, a personal plan. Step down again.
Well, probably. As in, I'll probably go to the party on Friday. Now we have left the realm of plans and entered the realm of prediction and likelihood. It's more likely than not, but I'm not committing. Maybe 75% certain.
And the 50-50 coin toss?
May or might. I might go to the party. It may rain later. This is pure possibility, 50-50. I'm completely uncommitted. It could go either way.
And then at the bottom, 0%. We have the phrase, no way.
There's no way I'm finishing this project by Friday, meaning it's impossible. Or it can be used as a reaction of surprise. You got the promotion. No way. Which means I don't believe this amazing news.
Now, let's apply this uncertainty to the workplace argument. Martha versus Juliet. This is a nasty meeting.
It is. They are debating who should get a promotion, and the idioms they use turn into weapons.
One manager says Martha, a candidate, doesn't think outside the box.
That's the ultimate corporate cliche for creative or innovative.
Yeah.
But in an argument, it's a direct insult. It means she's boring, she's a robot, she only follows the rules.
But her defender immediately counters that she knows the business inside out.
Inside out. It's a great visual. It means she knows it so thoroughly, it's as if she could turn it inside out and still know where everything is. She knows the lining of the pocket, the seams. She's an expert in the details.
Then the conversation turns to the other candidate, Juliet, and someone calls her uppity.
Ooh. Okay. Red alert. That is a loaded word.
Yeah, that word has a lot of historical baggage.
Huge baggage. Uppity, historically, especially in the United States, was a derogatory term used by people in power to describe racial minorities, women, or people of lower classes who didn't know their place, who acted above their station.
So using it in a modern office
is very dangerous. It's a landmine. It signals that you think this person is arrogant, but it also signals that you might have some serious bias issues yourself. It's a word that creates immediate friction.
Friction. I like that as a descriptor for office politics. Resistance, heat, things rubbing the wrong way.
Right. And then someone else dismisses Juliet's fancy degree, saying it isn't worth squat.
Squat. What an odd word.
It's slang for nothing at all. Technically, it refers to, well, the act of squatting or the worthless material that might result from it. It's vulgar and dismissive. It means zero value, absolutely nothing.
So we have uppity, friction, worth squat. This isn't a polite discussion about pros and cons. This is a back alley brawl with business jargon.
And that's why these deep dives are so important. If you just learn the dictionary definition of arrogant, you completely miss the historical danger of a word like uppity. If you just learn the word zero, you miss the utter contempt of a word like squat.
Absolutely. Okay, let's cool down after that fight with a story. Our final section, Section 7, Storytelling Mechanics. Sam is telling his friend Jack about a car accident.
And storytelling is all about pacing and building tension. You can't just say, I crashed my car. You have to set the scene. You have to build it up.
Sam starts by setting the weather. He says it was raining cats and dogs.
Okay, a challenge for you. Do you, as a native English speaker, ever actually use this phrase in a serious conversation?
Honestly, never. It feels like something from a nursery rhyme or a children's book. I would feel silly saying it.
I completely agree. If you say, it's raining cats and dogs, you might sound like a character in Mary Poppins. It's a bit dated and twee. But Sam also says it was pouring down. That is the natural modern phrasing. It was pouring.
Much better. And he was in a hurry.
So now we have the ingredients for disaster.
Yeah.
Bad weather and rushing. Tensions of building.
Then comes the pivot. The phrase that signals the chaos is about to begin, all of a sudden.
Or out of the blue, like a lightning bolt from a clear blue sky. These phrases are a signal to the listener. They say, pay attention. The normal state of affairs is over. The story starts now.
All of a sudden, I slammed on the brakes.
Slammed, not pressed or pushed. Slammed conveys the violence and the panic of the action. You can hear the noise in the word itself.
And afterward, Sam describes his emotional state. He was freaked out.
Freaked out. It's a great phrasal verb. It captures that full-body adrenaline shake you get after a scare. You aren't just scared in your mind. Your body is freaking out. You're vibrating with panic and adrenaline.
And he ends up on crutches, which he calls a pain in the neck.
Which is, of course, the polite version of pain in the other places.
Right. It means a persistent annoyance, a hassle that won't go away.
And he wraps up the whole story with the phrase, the upshot. The upshot was, my car is totaled.
The result, the final outcome.
But specifically, the final result after all the chaos is settled. It's similar to the bottom line in business. It cuts through the details to give you the conclusion.
And Jack, the listener, has the perfect response. He says, what a bummer.
Bummer. It's thought to come from the 60s term bum trip, meaning a bad drug experience. It is the perfect word for low-stakes empathy.
What do you mean by low stakes?
If someone's dog dies or they lose their job, you don't say bummer, it's too casual, it's dismissive, but for a broken leg, or a lost wallet, or a rained-out vacation, what a bummer is perfect. It says, I acknowledge your bad luck, I sympathize, but I also know you'll survive this.
So, wow, we've covered a massive amount of ground today. We've gone from the French flair of extraordinaire to the boxing ring of throwing in the towel. We've navigated the funnel of time and the double negative trap of politeness.
It's a lot. But I hope that for you listening, you're starting to see the pattern here, the underlying theme.
And what is that pattern boiled down?
The pattern is that fluency isn't about perfect data transfer. If I say, I arrived at 8:0 and I am sad, you understand the information. But I sound like a machine. I sound like a robot.
It's cold.
But if I say, man, I got in around 8:0, and to be honest with you, I'm a bit of a mess, I sound like a person. You feel like you know me.
It's the inefficiency that makes it human. To be honest with you, a bit of a mess, the you knows, the
Yeah.
they aren't mistakes. They are the handshake.
Exactly. They are social signals. They signal I am part of your tribe, I know the secret codes, you can trust me. Grammar is the skeleton, but this stuff, the idioms, the slang, the fillers, that's the heart. That's what makes the connection.
So here's our final provocative thought for you to take away. The robot test. Next time you're in a conversation, in English or even in your own native language, I want you to really listen to yourself. Imagine stripping away all the actuallys, the you-knows, the likes, the bummers, the heads-ups.
If you spoke in nothing but perfect, grammatically correct sentences, would you be clear? Maybe on a technical level. But would anyone want to have a beer with you? Would you sound more intelligent, or would you just sound less human?
Embrace the messiness. Use the codes. Be a party animal extraordinaire of conversation.
Please do. It's much more fun that way.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Keep in touch, everyone.
And don't be a stranger.